Hey everybody, this is Grace. And in this video, I'm going to talk more about people who are in a dysfunctional relationships. It could be dysfunctional family, a marriage, dating, any kind of dysfunctional relationship. And then in this one, I want to talk about when they decide to end it. Okay, it could be that somebody has started to learn a bit about more and more and starting to notice that they're in a relationship, there's no love, care, affection of any sort. And then they decide that they're going to end that relationship. And it could be more than one. Once they start to notice that, they might decide to end all of them. It could be the whole dysfunctional family, to go no contact in the relationship, if it's a husband, wife, or boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever. And then start fresh. Okay, now one of the things that some people might do is to try to replace these people. And I've mentioned this in the video before. They try to fill the void. And that is really not a good time, in my opinion. I can't give anybody any advice. None of this is advice or any kind of like counseling or anything along that line. Read the disclaimer. Okay, but some people might try immediately to, fill the void, get new friends, new person to date, to be involved with. They might even do it while they're involved with somebody, as far as a romantic partner. I do not see that as a good idea. I've heard since I was a child, I think people talk about how, you need to find time for yourself and to learn about yourself. And I think that is very true, that you need to see who you are without other people, without close relationships, who you are alone first. Otherwise, it's just going right back into the same kind of dysfunction. You haven't given yourself time to heal. You haven't given yourself time to learn who you are, what your needs are, not what somebody else expected of you, wanted you to do, needed from you, all of that. It's who you are and how you want to be before going and getting involved with somebody else. And some people will say you have to learn to love yourself first, because you weren't ever taught that. You were taught to think about other people and not focus ever on yourself. There's that, and there's also that of people trying to find a rescuer, somebody to rescue them from, say, dysfunctional marriage, and they go and they cheat. Like I mentioned in that last video, they will cheat because they're not getting the love and affection, so they're trying to find somebody else and get involved with that person so that there's somebody there. And then that maybe that person will rescue them from that marriage, will help them to get out, will pay for it, the divorce, whatever it is, set them up, or just to be there for them. And that's looking for the rescuer. Well, the rescuer might be just the same. They see that you are already primed for this kind of relationship, an abusive relationship. And they can be the predator. Okay, in my mind, I have seen it similar to a service dog. A service dog, and I've mentioned this recently, a service dog, can sniff out something like when a diabetic is going on a low or needs insulin. They're trained to do that, to sniff it out. First time I ever heard of a service dog, it was about someone who had panic attacks. And then the dog could detect when the human was about to have a panic attack. Now, I think of this as similar to predators, but the service dog is to help the human, the person. But a predator is to only help themselves. They sniff it out. They sniff out when somebody is vulnerable. And that's when they decide that, hey, here's somebody I can use. Here's somebody I can add to my supply, my harem, my whatever, to use. Okay, so trying to find a rescuer, trying to find anybody to fill the void, to to get you from there. Someone in a relationship like that not someone who's an organization or a counselor that's set up for this purpose. I'm talking about, you know, somebody that you're trying to get in a relationship with, a friendship with, whatever. Because you're most vulnerable, and that's the type that would take advantage of that. Might. Okay, this is not a one-size-fits-all kind of thing. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this video up. If you have any comments, you can go ahead and leave them below if you feel like it. If you want to subscribe to this channel and you haven't already, you can click click the circle that pops up, the circle icon. If you want to watch another video on this channel, you click one of the rectangles that pop up. Like, subscribe, comment, and share if you would. And I'll talk to you on another video.